All right, so we're on to the next part of the P-Pump upgrade series. So now if you guys have done all of the upgrades at this point, you've maxed out, so you got your transmission all figured out for what you're gonna make for power. You've got all your fluids changed, all the stuff that I've been talking about. Intake horn, exhaust, your fuel pressure, all of that stuff. Make sure everything is up to par. So now our next step is going to be getting into more fuel, more air. So more fuel, more air. Now we're going to do the fuel here to start with. I have a couple things to show you. We'll talk about some delivery valves, we'll talk about some injectors, and we'll go from there. So now when we're getting into this stuff, Now I have, I'm in the works of setting up I shouldn't say distribution, but I got one of the major, where I would say major founding performance guys helping me out with doing some performance 12 valve and VP44 injectors. So all of the 12 valves and the VP44 injectors. So very quickly I will be coming online with my own line of injectors. We're using all Bosch parts, so there'll be a really good quality injector. Same with delivery valves, and I'll have a bunch of this stuff on the website in the next few months when I get the website going. I'm going to try to get it up as fast as possible, and I will, as soon as I get it up, I will put a link to it in all of my videos for anybody that would like to look at the video, what I got for sale online. I'm going to put part numbers to all of the manufacturer's stuff. So if you're looking for something, if I'm talking about something in a video and I've linked it in a video, you guys will be able to see it. But anyways, let's get on with this. So injectors. So when you're getting into it, sizing of injector does make a difference, but at the same time, there's more to it than that. Just orifice size doesn't mean that the injector is the best injector for you, because there's 5-hole, 6-hole, 7-hole. There's 8-hole now too, but you're not going to be doing that for the most part. You're not going to be doing that for 12 valve or VP44 stuff. But so this one here is a Sachs nozzle on a 12 valve. So if you look at, I don't think I have a new one. So show you guys the difference. Here is this one is, and I'll do a video on this later, I just haven't done a video yet, but so this is a VCO nozzle and this is a Sachs nozzle. Now the Sachs nozzle, they're both good nozzles, but they have different characteristics in the way they run. So the Sachs nozzle tends to be a little bit smokier and noisier versus the VCO. Now, a lot of guys, when you get into bigger injectors, or I shouldn't say everybody, for the most part, you get into bigger injectors, everybody's going to be running a Sachs nozzle because they're easier to make power with than the VCO. And then the VCO, when you get into modifying, there's a lot more to it. And I'm not an expert by any stretch of the imagination on that. But I will, I'm learning more about it. And as I learn, I'll fill you guys in with more information. Information that I should say that the guys that are helping me, the guy that's helping me, says it's okay to give out, because it is his information and I don't want to give out information that he doesn't want given out, because he's being kind enough to help me to do it, and I don't want to throw away that relationship if he doesn't want me to give the information out. If he does, then I'll post about it. But anyways, so you're getting into a basic injector. Lots of times a small injector is going to be a VCO, which is going to be a little bit quieter, not astronomically quiet, but they're a little bit quieter. So depending on what kind of power you want to make, a lot of my introduction series size, I guess you would say, is going to be about 6x10. Now the 6x10 can be used in more than 1 horsepower range by doing some nozzle modifications and stuff like that to make them flow more. So there will be a couple different sizes when I do it. To start with, I'm going to do a 50, a 90, and 140 horse for the VE 12 valve, same with the P pump 12 valve, so that you'll be able to see. But anyways, so if you're getting in and you want to do like a 350, 400 horse combination, we'll either be doing a 6-hole or a 7-hole nozzle, and we're going to be upgrading your delivery valves. So this delivery valve here is a stock 131 out of a 175 horse or a 160 horse pump. And there is, I think, a 161 as well. Yeah, there's 161 as well. No, sorry, that's 181. Oh, I guess both sets of these are actually 181. Sorry, I didn't realize that. I thought one was a 131. So I guess I don't have a set of 131s up here, but just to give you guys an idea, and you can tell by what kind they are, is they will be. I don't know if you guys will be able to see that in the video or not, but it'll actually say right on the top. It'll say 181, 131, 161, 191, you know, that type of thing. Some of the performance ones don't, but they're usually marked on there somewhere. So you can see the shoulder size. So your actual delivery valve, this shoulder size is what dictates the amount of fuel that the delivery valve is allowed to move. So this is a set of 024s. And you can see this one compared to this one, the shoulder size difference. You can see the shoulder size difference. So this one is going to move more fuel. And then you can also see on that ledge right there. I don't know if there again whether you guys will be able to see that in the video. On the bottom one, which is the 024s, it's a tapered edge on it, so it actually will move more fuel easier. The other one has a taper on it too, but the taper isn't as large. So you're going to be wanting to go into a bigger injector and a bigger delivery valve. And I always, especially the 160, 170 horse pumps, you always want to upgrade your delivery valves before you put injectors in it. The reason for that is that you have a 131 or a 161 delivery valve, you will get issues with the engine feeling like it has not enough timing. So you'll get popping and white smoke and stuff like that under certain accelerations or on a free rev, warm free rev. So I always recommend doing a delivery valve. At the very least, you want to go into a 181 in any application. I would, you know, like in a stock application, I would still run a 181 at the very least. And lots of times you can find lots of guys. So the 181 comes in a 180 and 215 horse pump factory. So lots of times you can find these used, especially if you guys down in the States, lots of the farms and stuff, you can find these used and they're relatively cheap usually. But I personally would be going into a bigger delivery valve, either an 024, 045, or sorry, 035, you know, depending on what you got on the go, right? So, but you can message me, you can hit me up on Instagram. I'll have, you know, when I get the website going, you'll be able to email me on there, and I can help you out with some sizing, and then I'll have some packages and stuff in there when we get that far. Or even if you just want to ask, you want to talk about it a little bit, and you're going to buy it from somebody else, I'm fine with that too. Like I said, I'm not, you know, I'm just trying to help everybody out. And, you know, when the products that I'm going to bring to the table are high quality, good products that I know are good products, because I don't want to set you guys up with something that's no good. So anyway, so now if you want to go into the next step, you're going to be going bigger delivery valves, or I shouldn't say bigger delivery valves, but you're going to be going into bigger injectors. Now, the bigger injectors, same idea, just a bigger injector. So one thing when you go to a bigger injector is unless you're running like an 18 degrees timing or something like that, you're probably going to need to bump timing even more, which makes it hard to start when it's cold. So there again, it depends. More timing gives you more power to a certain point. You need to deal with that as well. So Now that we talked about injectors, delivery valves, you're going to want to get into turbos a bit. Now, I'm going to do a bunch of stuff on turbos here in the next little while. The issue is I don't have a bunch of turbos to show you guys, which I wish I had a bunch of turbos to show you. I'm trying to get a couple turbos just sitting here so I can show you guys some differences and stuff. So if you're staying in the low horsepower range, and there again, depending whether you can fab or not, you can, in one of my other video I just did the other day, talking about HX35s, if you want to stay with an HX35, you can go into a 7-blade HX35, which is the best HX35 there is. You can do that if you want to stay low horsepower. I would recommend upgrading from that and going into at least a K27, they call it, which is by Borg-Warner. A really good turbo. They're good turbos, I would say probably up into the 400 horse range. You know, mid like 450 into 400 or down, I guess. They're really good factory style upgrade, I guess you would say. I really like them. They work great on as single turbos. Now, if you have the ability to do compounds, if you can build yourself a compound kit, you can do a compound kit with an HX35 and a boxed S475. You can do them relatively cheap. You know, there's all kinds of different options and combos, and like I could talk about it for hours. But it depending on, there again, sizing of turbos and all that type of stuff, you really want to talk to whoever you're going to buy the turbo from, or turbos. You really want to talk to them a little bit. Make sure you know what you have, what you're going to use for injectors, what horsepower you want. Is it automatic? Is it standard? What's your stall of your torque converter? You need to know that information so that you can help them give you the right setup. Because otherwise, and I get this all the time, I get phone calls and all kinds of stuff about it. Guys are talking to people or companies that, I don't know if having trained people is the right word for it, but they're not getting good combinations, man. I get calls and people coming in all the time. Oh, my truck doesn't work right, or I can't get this to work, or I can't get that to work, or I can't tow with it, or it runs too hot. And you start talking to them about combination, and the combination is like so far from a good combination, it's ridiculous. So you need to know, there again, when you're getting everything built, in my eyes, you kind of know where, you have to know where you're going to get there. And if you do know where you're going, it's fantastic. So you want to talk to somebody there again. If you guys want to hit me up, I'll do my best to help everybody. But do take in consideration, I do this on the side of working, so my days during the day are usually pretty busy. So if you message me, sometimes I don't get back to you until later that night, or sometimes the next day, just to give you a heads up. But I do my best to try to get back as fast as I can. And you want to get, like I said, you want to get into somebody that knows what they're talking about. You're talking about fueling and air, and there's all kinds of people that are good at sizing stuff. But talk to them and ask them, hey, you ever had a ppump truck? If you find somebody that's had ppump trucks, that helps immensely, because they already kind of know, they have some experience. And I've had ppump trucks for years. Same with VE trucks, I had them for years. So I like people to see, like I have firsthand knowledge in it, so I can say, if you're having a problem, hey, try this, try that, try this. This injector, this delivery valve, and this turbo setup works. That type of thing. And I like to be able to help guys and not just say, oh, well, you need this $8,000 turbo, these $4,000 injectors, you need these $800 this and $800 that and $800 this. I'm not into that. Don't get me wrong, I like cool stuff, I like fancy bits, I like lots of power products. But not everybody needs all that stuff. Shiny don't make it fast. If you like shiny, don't get me wrong, make it shiny. But it doesn't make it fast. So, if you spend a couple $1,000s on shiny parts, doesn't mean the truck's going to go fast. So take that into consideration when you're doing this, guys. They're easy. These trucks are very easy to make power with, but they're also very easy to burn down, because they do fuel hard when you put, you get fuel in there. If you don't have stuff set up right, you don't have your AFC set up properly, that type of stuff, and timing and that type of stuff, they're easy to kill. They're a great engine and they live for a long time, but you can kill them. And I've fixed lots that have got killed. So hopefully this helps on this video for that one. And I'm going to keep adding a bunch of stuff to the description as I get more information. And maybe I'll put a couple combinations. I won't be to start with, but I'll put some power combinations as I put some stuff together. I'll put some power combinations down in there, and give you guys an idea of where I would start. And there again, hit me up in the comments. And I'll do my best to get back to everybody that comments on it. So anyways, we're going to stop there on this one. So that's kind of just a basic, I guess you would. So like, subscribe, hit me up in the comments. Like I said a bunch of times, appreciate anybody sharing the videos. I've seen a bunch of videos being shared. It's awesome. Lots, a few new subscribers, which is awesome. Tell your friends about it. If your, friends have friends, that's, how you get the channel to build. And that's what I'm, trying to get out. I'm trying to get good information, because I see lots of pages on Facebook and stuff like that where guys are giving him misinformation and don't have, I shouldn't say the ability isn't the right word, but maybe don't have the first-hand knowledge. And, I don't want to see people have issues. So, anyways, we'll catch you on the next one, guys.